Sleeping Beauty by Ross MacDonald. Dedication to Eudora Welty. Chapter 1. I flew home from Mazatlan on a Wednesday afternoon. As we approached Los Angeles, the Mexicana plane dropped low over the sea, and I caught my first glimpse of the oil spill. It lay on the blue water off Pacific Point in a free-form slick that seemed miles wide and many miles long. An offshore oil platform stood up out of its windward end like the metal handle of a dagger that had stabbed the world and made it spill black blood. The flight steward came along the aisle, making sure that we were ready to land. I asked him what had happened to the ocean. His hands and shoulders made a south-of-the-border gesture which alluded to the carelessness of Anglos. "She blew out Monday." He leaned across me and looked down past the wing. "She's worse today than she was yesterday. Fasten your seatbelt, senor. We'll be landing in 5 minutes." I bought a paper at International Airport. The oil spill was front-page news. A vice president of the oil company that owned the offshore platform, a man named Jack Lennox, predicted that the spill would be controlled within 24 hours. Jack Lennox was a good-looking man, if you could judge by his picture, but there was no way to know whether he was telling the truth. Pacific Point was one of my favorite places on the coast. As I made my way out to the airport parking lot, the oil spill threatening the city's beaches floated like a depression just over the horizon of my mind. Instead of driving home to West Los Angeles, I turned south along the coast to Pacific Point. The sun was low when I got there. From the hill above the harbor, I could see the enormous slick spreading like premature night across the sea. At its nearest, it was perhaps 1,000 yards out, well beyond the dark brown kelp beds which formed a natural barrier offshore. Workboats were moving back and forth, spraying the edges of the spill with chemicals. They were the only boats I could see on the water. A white plastic boom was strung across the harbor entrance, and gulls that looked like white plastic whirled above it. I made my way down to the public beach and along it to the sandy point which partly enclosed the harbor. A few people, mostly women and girls, were standing at the edge of the water, facing out to sea. They looked as if they were waiting for the end of the world, or as if the end had come and they would never move again. The surf was rising sluggishly. A blackbird with a sharp beak was struggling in it. The bird had orange-red eyes, which seemed to be burning with anger, but it was so fouled with oil that at first I didn't recognize it as a western grebe. A woman in a white shirt and slacks waded in thigh-deep and picked it up, holding its head so that it wouldn't peck her. I could see as she came back toward me that she was a handsome young woman with...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?